to the E to the L to the U to the X to the E to the top. Smacking.
Hello there guys, it is Qwerty Afro here with Qwerty Tries Star Wars Battlefront Beta. This is the latest Battlefront game that's been available. I know I'm a little bit late to the party, but I thought I'd contribute with a video to my Qwerty Tries series and try it out for you guys, and because I was a bit interested. I'm quite an avid Star Wars fan, and I'll talk a bit more about that during the video, but I thought, you know, let's give it a go. It's free. It was free to play. If you didn't know, the beta was free to play, so you could just go on, hop on and just try it for yourself. There was only a few modes, which I'll break down all the modes for you during this video. It's not recorded as like a full one-time recorder. I have recorded this previously, and now I'm just doing some voiceover of it, so I don't know, I might try this format again with certain games. But I thought for a shooter game, hey look, I don't really like to record myself and talk while playing shooter games, because I'm more like quiet when I play shooter games, while like other games like my simulation games, I'm fine to chat and drive or whatever. But anyway, before we get into this video, shoutouts go to Dylan Girvan and Ryan Robloxian. That's again Dylan Girvan and Ryan Robloxian. Their links and stuff will be down below. So, Star Wars Battlefront by EA, yes, the infamous EA, but you know, I think they're onto something here with this game. It's a little bit, you know, like the pricing and stuff for this game is a bit up there, but I have to say this game so far, what I've been playing, is very pretty. It's really nice, and I've just enjoyed it. I played quite a bit of it by myself, and I also played it with some friends as well. It's a bit miss and mash. You have just basic stuff right now. Not everything was available in the beta. They have this partnering system actually you could do, where you invite people to parties, and then you can actually partner with someone, and then you can spawn into them. And I don't I'll talk a bit more about when we get into the games and stuff that I have to show, but the spawning and stuff in the multiplayer games was crazy, and probably one of the bad things about the beta. So here I'm just kind of showing you what, like, these kind of things you can edit within your kind of like setup here. You have hands and you have cards and stuff to unlock and then equip yourself. You can have like 2 cards with 2 hands, and then you have like one primary one, which there wasn't many available. You can see here I was unlocking actually a jump pack, which you can have with, like, say, I had it with like a cyber rifle, I do believe, but you can mix and match different ones to kind of suit your playstyle. But that's later on in the multiplayer kind of games I get to show you. But first, I'm actually going to show you some of the single player, which, to be honest, I kind of like. It kind of reminds, it's just kind of that normal kind of wave survival kind of mode kind of thing. It's nothing too new that I have not, like, you know, you kind of play that in Zombies or whatever, in Call of Duty or whatever, or just any kind of normal survival based kind of game mode, which I think every kind of shooter game kind of has in some sort of way. But you can see here we have the mission brief. It's just we have to be on Tatooine, where we have to you know, survive waves. I think there's about 6 waves. And firstly, when we load into this game, I have to say the visuals are phenomenal. I was so surprised, and I didn't even know my computer could handle it. Would you believe it or not? I was amazed. My computer can handle things, but I thought this would be a bit tricky.
Not my best landing.
Hey, let's go.
Very nice opening cinematics we had here, and you know, that's nice. It's all Star Wars and nostalgia, and I do kind of like that. So as I said, with the survival mode, you get thrown here in Tatooine. This is the map Tatooine, and you can already see the visuals are wow. Like, I actually have it on medium settings, I do believe, so it's not even the highest thing it can even get. If you have a really good PC, you can go for some really astonishing details. Now, the first conception and the biggest, I think, the biggest kind of complaint or kind of comment about this game was that it was basically a Battlefield 4 skin over a, you know, just with Star Wars skin essentially. I kind of agree to that to kind of certain extent, because obviously it's the Frostbite engine is being used here to make this game. So it's going to obviously resemble a bit, and the mechanics and the kind of physics of the shooting and the walking, etc., are going to be a bit Battlefield-esque. You know what I mean? It's not going to be completely the same. There's obviously different things, and I definitely felt it. I played Battlefield 3 and a bit of 4, not too much because I'm not really a fan of 4. And I kind of noticed some similarities, but obviously here you can see you can go into third person, which I tend to actually prefer in this game. But generally in this Tatooine kind of mission, it's just running around, and the difficulty was actually normal, and I have to say the normal, the drones and stuff, and the clones are just so easy to beat. Maybe the ATSTs are a little bit hard on the hard side, but to be honest, they were not too bad. Look right now, look at this. They were shooting at me, and I'm not even losing that much health. They're pretty dumb and pretty stupid, in my opinion. But just look at this backdrop. Like, look at this. This is just so pretty. Just during the times I was actually playing, I had to actually just admire the settings, because it was just, it blew me away. Anyway, now this is a cool little bit that happened that you get to verse in the solo missions, and it is the ATST, and it's a bit, it can be a bit overwhelming, because it's a huge machine, not the biggest machine, but it's a huge machine that's coming after you, and you kind of have to kind of supplement yourself to kind of survive here, and it can get a bit overwhelming, but I had a bit of fun just like running around with this. Obviously it's a normal mode, so it just runs around hopelessly trying to find you, and then sometimes it can completely ignore you. But I don't know, the solo missions didn't really catch my eye in this beta. I don't know, like this little mission here we're doing on Tatooine was something of a kind of fun little thing to do. I only kind of recorded this for this kind of video. I didn't really play it by myself. Actually, a little kind of a bit of an embarrassment is that with this actual recording of it, because I actually had 2 recordings. I already recorded footage for this game for Qwerty Tries a while ago at the beginning of the beta, but the footage got corrupted, and I easily passed through these 6 waves. But in this game, I got to wave 5 or 6, I don't know, and I just died in the most ridiculous way. I think the first time I died to a ATST, and then I fell off the cliff. But you'll see that it will come up, so you'll get to laugh or whatever. But these kind of cool things you get to actually pick up. You get loads of different perks and pickup things that you get to pick up. So this is a squad shield, as you can see, which protects you from fire from the outside. It obviously doesn't last forever, so it has a bit of like a kind of time span, and also damage integrity or whatever. So it's a nice thing. The sounds as well are very authentic, very Star Wars-esque. You can see here, I'm going normal mode. If I was on any kind of higher difficulty, it would have easily just one-shot me, but it's obviously normal mode, so I'm just running around here playing with it really, and toying with its mind. It's really funny.
No time to celebrate, I'm afraid. The Empire has dispatched reinforcements.
So more reinforcements. You would think it would get a little bit harder, but it grows in numbers of enemies trying to kill you, and then pretty much the last wave essentially is more waves of clones and an ATST. So it's I would say this solo mission, I look forward to seeing more maps, and probably that's the only thing I really want to see. Probably if I was to pick up this game and actually play like the solo missions, it would probably be the maps and the kind of different solo missions. And there will actually be quite a lot in the menus and stuff where you could actually see what other maps and stuff will be included with the game, and there's quite a lot of stuff and loads of different kind of missions based on the actual Star Wars story and a plotline. So that I'm actually looking forward to. But I'm still on the kind of fence if I should get this game, because I don't know, the solo missions didn't really sell it to me. Multiplayer probably a bit more, it sold it to me, but still, we'll get onto that a little bit further in the video. So you can get even some of these kind of flying ones, which once you kill them, they just kind of explode and kind of twirl around in the air. You can see here, look how many enemies are in front of me, shooting at me. And literally only a few of them, only a few shots really shoot at me. But to be honest, that's pretty much Star Wars. If you look at every single Star Wars film or TV series, etc., you basically have shots being fired by either the kind of droids or the clones, and every shot pretty much misses. Probably 1 in 1,000 shots make their target. I think the only kind of time in the movies where the droids, no, it wasn't the droids, it was the clones, that they were actually successful in killing people was actually Order 66 by Emperor Palpatine. But sorry, spoilers there if no one's actually watched up to that far in the prequels. But I find it a bit funny, and it kind of translates a bit in this game. As you can see here, the pod, I had to actually capture and defend the pod, and here I just became overwhelmed with the ATST and people, so I died. And you'd think I would learn my lesson, but I kind of respawned, trying to think, yes, I can make it, I can go into the next and final wave. But no, I decide here I can take this ATST, and then realise I'm walking back, and what happens? I fall down the cliff. Well, you know, Qwerty, you live and you learn. And I think that was it for my kind of little rendezvous with the solo missions. So now let's get into the part maybe where people will be a bit more interested in. Walker Assault is the first mode I'm going to show you for the multiplayer, and it is essentially, in a way, a scenario where we have you're either rebels or you're either Imperials, and you. The Imperials are advancing with 2 AT-ATs, and they have to get to like one point at the end of the map, and the rebels have to defend, capture comm links, and upload kind of stuff to send for backup and bomb strikes, etc. So and in this map it gets really hectic. This is where you have 40 players, and it gets really crazy. Now the kind of saying with this mode when the beta was running is that literally rebels didn't have a chance, and I have to vouch for that. Rebels in this mode were pretty much sorry for my French, but bumfucked. you basically spawned in the most stupid places as a rebel. The Imperials could spawn right near the rebels' spawning place and basically take you out, and the rebels essentially didn't have a chance. The Imperials got AT-ATs, which are those huge walking creatures, well, not creatures, but machines, creature machines, whatever you want to call them, and they have 8 smaller ATSTs, which you saw in the solo missions, which you can drive or whatever, and then you also even have the ships and stuff that you can drive around, the jet ships, etc. The rebels have some to defend off the Imperials, and the Imperials have their more offensive ones, which they can use for like tactical measures or whatever to kind of, you know, battle against the rebel ship. You can see in the far distance over there, that is one of the AT-ATs, and one of them is actually more closer inland to the map. As you can see up front here, Darth Vader. Now these are I think this is a cool thing in the game, and as I said, I haven't actually played at all any Battlefront games. I know in the previous games you could play as heroes or villains, and this is obviously my first Battlefront game, so I'm only taking all these opinions of mine are basically from just playing this as my first Battlefront game. And what I liked was the heroes. I thought the heroes were done pretty cool in this game, even though it was a bit annoying that it's basically a random token that you find on the map where you take it and then you spawn as a hero. So on the hero, on the rebel side, if I was now to find that token, I would play as Luke Skywalker, and if I was in the Imperial side, I would play as Darth Vader. And I think their opening sequences when they start, you know, when they come onto the map is just brilliant. You get the cool rebel kind of theme song, and then you get the Imperial kind of theme march for Darth Vader, and it's all just very dramatic, and they are imbalanced as fuck. Yeah, there is actually a moment in this video where I actually get killed by Luke Skywalker when I was actually doing a game on the Imperial side, and I just quit because it just got to a point where I was like, I can't be bothered anymore. But that's at the end of this Rebel game. I do a little bit of Imperial kind of shooting or whatever. But the maps are really dynamic and obviously destructible. Not fully destructible, but destructible to a good point. The effects and stuff are just crazy. You can see right now here I'm in a bit of a hangar, going through here like some tunnels, etc. I picked up actually a vehicle turret there, and what you can do with those is just place them anywhere and then they shoot at like vehicles or I think even moving targets such as the enemy, and it's just a nice way to get those points. But I like, as I said, playing in third person. I don't know why, it's just I get to see more of my surroundings. I'm not really a first person kind of player, but it's obviously good to play in first person when you can. But this mode is literally crazy. It gets so hectic, and probably that's also another downside, that it kind of can get a bit hectic and a bit. You can kind of be a bit lost. You can kind of, if you're on the Rebel side, as I was saying, you can spawn and you can get instantly killed because the Imperials have a vast, you know, superior advantage, and even the developers admitted to that. So you can't really do anything, even when the developers are saying you're pretty much screwed. But I can actually say this, I have been in a game where the Rebels have won, so it is possible, but it's probably 1 in a million chance of you actually winning on the Rebel side. But I've done it. It was actually my first ever game that I played. I was luckily on a good team, and we somehow won. But actually, this game, we almost did it. Like at the end, I destroyed one of the AT-ATs, but the last one was still on a bit of health, so we couldn't claw it at the end. But it's crazy looking at me shooting some of these guys on top of this little mountain here with a cyber rifle, which is one of my kind of card perks here. As you can see, you can carry 2. As I said at the beginning of the video, you have these kind of card perks, and one of them is a jetpack, which I actually don't use too much, but I use for some kind of reckless kind of play or whatever. But oh, one thing I throw here is a pretty cool little bomb. It's a proximity bomb. You don't get to see it go off, but you'll hear it. Yeah, that it basically implodes and destroys things within it, and it's crazy. But the effects, the animations and stuff are phenomenal. I could easily just, oh look, there's Luke Skywalker. He's on my team this time. But I had to sometimes just stand back and just look at what's going on, because it is a visually beautiful game, and I don't know if I should get it. I'm still debating on it, and this is also obviously Qwerty Tries, is what you guys tell me if maybe I should pursue this as a series or whatever. Should I possibly get this game and maybe do some good content on it when it does come out? As you can see there, look at that, AT-AT destroyed by moi. And that got me a lot of points, but unfortunately we couldn't finish the other one. It was pretty much half health, and we got defeated. But the only way to kill the AT-ATs is pretty much the orbital strength. And as you can see there, Luke Skywalker ended me, and I then just ended the game. Anyway, that was Walker Assault. I'm sorry if I'm a bit excited. I don't know. I'm watching back these videos and just doing a voiceover, but it's still exciting. It definitely has a lot of excitement when you do play the game, and once you get over the frustration that you can be killed every time you spawn in. But anyway, this mode is Dropzone. This is like the third and final mode that came with the beta, and this was more kind of your standard, in a way. If I was to relate it to a Call of Duty mode, it'd probably be like domination or capture the flag, sort of kind of cross between capture the flag and domination. You have these pods that dropped somewhere around the map, and you have to capture it and claim it. Actually, no, it's more closer to the Call of Duty mode headquarters. You basically have somewhere on the map where headquarters spawns. You have to cap it, collect points, etc. And then once you cap it, then another one spawns somewhere else. So it's a bit here. You have a pod which comes down from the sky. Really, it's like a cooler animation. It just drops down like an asteroid or whatever. Go to it and you cap it for yourself. And this map just stunned me as well. The detail on this map was crazy. It's almost like these maps are honestly like living artwork, the lagoons over there, the blues, the colours, the smoke, the atmosphere was all... They definitely have got the Star Wars atmosphere perfectly in this game. And I don't really mind if it relates a bit to Battlefield 4 because I'm such a Star Wars fan. I'm just like, you know, I'm playing in a kind of Star Wars kind of thing, and this is obviously my first Star Wars game. I have not played, the only other Star Wars game I've actually really played is Lego Star Wars. So, and I enjoyed that, and this is my first Battlefront game, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. But this mode gets hectic as well, but it's a bit more close quarters, so you can kind of handle it and run around and find loads of cover spots as well, so it's not as hectic as Walker Assault, but it can get hectic in its own kind of way. But in this game, my team was depressingly bad. I was trying to do as much as I can, but the kind of teamwork and the effort made to actually claim these pods was just so poor by my team. Just, oh, look at that. Look at the lagoon. Look at how blue it is. It's great. It's so pretty. It's just fantastic. Sometimes I actually have to just walk around this map and just pretend I'm like an observer. Forget being a fighter for the Rebel or the Imperial. Just I'll be a tourist. But it's crazy. Dropzone wasn't really my favourite mode. I think Walker Assault was probably my favourite mode. Dropzone just felt a little too... I don't know, I'm not really into Call of Duty kind of modes anymore, so it's nothing too, you know, satisfying for me to play. We can see here. I tried... Oh, this is in the Rebels game, actually, so just to capture a little bit of that for you. The uniforms and stuff are pretty cool, and it's going to be cool to see more variation of different kind of teams and looks, and you'll be able to personalise yourself in the kind of full release game, which costs a fortune. I think the standard game's like 50 quid or something, and then they go up to like a deluxe version for 120 quid, so it's a bit pricey. But we're coming to the end of my little Qwerty Tries Star Wars Battlefront Beta, and I have to say, I don't know, I've enjoyed it. Overall, it was a very fun kind of experience to do. I'm on the fence of getting it, and this is where you guys can balance it and say, do you want me to get it or whatever, or maybe this should be a one-off. You can tell me that you don't like this video, I'm completely fine, because obviously it's something very different from what I normally do on my channel, but I thought I'd record some footage, I thought I'd give a little bit of opinion there, but that's it. That's all I have for Star Wars Battlefront. That's all I managed to record. I did have another file previously, but it got corrupted. But I hope you liked that little bit of some collections there of clips and my kind of take on it. I hope you guys have a nice day. I'll see you in another Qwerty Tries episode. Bye.